Welcome, you guys. I'm so excited to be doing this Zoom tonight. I feel like it is so important. This topic that we're going to be talking about tonight, I feel like it's probably the number one things that most people struggle with in this business. Like, even those of us who feel super, super confident in enrolling customers, it's like we ask you to roll a distributor and you're like, I don't know if I can do that. And so me and Sarah have both been in this business for a very long time. I'm coming up on 5 years myself. And we're just gonna share with you all of our best kind of tips and tricks, and we're just gonna kind of riff off of each other. We really don't even have that like much of a plan, but I know she knows what she's talking about. She knows I know what I'm talking about, and we're just gonna take it. We're just gonna take it away. So if you don't know me, my name's Hope. I'm 26 years old. I'm coming up on 5 years in the business. I'm a triple diamond. I just went triple diamond in April. And I started this business just for extra gas and grocery money, and it just turned into my passion. I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with this community. I fell in love with our product line. And I just fell in love with the ability to help other people change their lives. You know, when I was thinking about careers or professions that I wanted to go into for myself, it was like I wanted to be a teacher, or I wanted to be a nurse, or I wanted to be a counselor. I wanted to do something that really helped people, but nothing quite like fit that mold, because all those things are so time consuming when you also want to have a family. And I always knew I wanted to have a family. So now, you know, almost 5 years, I've gone through so many different seasons of my life. I'm excited to talk to you guys about some of those seasons, because some of them have included being a really good leader, and some of them have included being a really bad leader, and some of them have included enrolling a lot of distributors, and some has included not enrolling very many distributors at all. And it happens to all of us. I don't for one second want you guys to think, oh my gosh, like, of course Hope enrolls so many distributors, of course Sarah enrolls so many distributors, like they're amazing. Like, no, me and Sarah have had to learn lessons. We've had to learn leadership. We've had to go through the people quitting and people signing up with other people and rebuilding our business from the ground up over and over again. And that's why we're successful. We're not successful because everyone says yes. We're successful because no matter how many people say no or end up leaving our journey, we have just continued forward. So almost 5 years later, I get to hang out with my baby boy every single day. Literally in like 9 days, he's gonna be one. My mama heart is just like, oh God, I can't believe he's gonna be one. But I'm just excited to be doing this and to share with you guys a little bit about more about my journey with enrolling distributors. So Sarah, I think you can unmute yourself. I think I'll just have you kind of do like I just did, just like a little intro, and then we can kind of just take it away from there.
Hey, you guys. So yeah, I'm Sarah Niermann. I'm a presidential diamond. I've been with It Work since March of 2014. So I just celebrated 6 years in March. And when I first got started in this business, like I was I was timid. I was really doubtful about whether or not I could have the kind of success that I was seeing other people have. And I kind of was creating this self-fulfilling prophecy. So just dipping my toe in the water, kind of only messaging the people that I really thought would say yes. You know, I started off when I wanted to enroll distributors, I was like, who's a mom that I know? Even though I wasn't even a mom at the time, but I was like, the only people who want to do this business is a mom. So I started like targeting my cousins who were like, they were the two stay-at-home moms that I know. I'm like, you want to be home with your babies and make an income? You do. I swear, stop saying no to me. That's what you want to do. It's what you want to do. And they were like the only two potential distributors that I had for 3 months, and they weren't even interested. I was just badgering them, doing it because they were just the people that I thought should be interested in this. So anyway, yeah, so that was kind of like my mentality going through the beginning of this business. And then I was posting, and I didn't really like know what to post about or what my story was, or, you know, whether or not I even believed that this was something that I could really do. So I was just kind of going through the motions for a long time. And it wasn't until I got serious about this. And for me, like I read the compensation plan. I didn't understand charting. I didn't understand promoting. I was totally intimidated by the idea of leading a team. Like I was put into a team page where there was 1,000 people. I was like, Jade has 1,000 people on her team. I could never lead a team of 1,000 people. So I just totally talked myself out of leading altogether. I was like, I'm not qualified for this. Who am I to do anything like this? People would be nuts to join with me because I have no idea what I'm doing myself. So I just kind of like sabotaged myself for months. And anyway, yeah, so I read the compensation plan. I saw fast start bonuses, and I was like, well, if I can at least enroll like 1 to 2 distributors a month, I can get some customers under them. I can make enough money to pay for my e-suite and my auto shipment. And like, we'll just kind of see what happens from there. And that's what I was doing. And then one day I woke up and I was like, why am I playing so small? I'm watching all of these people who are normal people who are doing huge things with this business. So if they can do that, why not me? And I just kept hearing over and over, you can't promote without recruiting. You can't fill a chart without recruiting distributors. The fastest way to grow your paycheck and earn bonuses is to enroll distributors. So I was like, all right, I got to get good at getting distributors. I've got to stop saying that I suck at it. I got to stop saying I'm not a mass recruiter. And I just need to decide that I am. And I flipped a switch in my mindset, and it spilled over into the way that I was talking in my posts. It spilled over into the way that I was having my conversations. It spilled over into the intention I had behind the conversations that I was having and the follow-ups that I was doing. And all of a sudden, I went from enrolling 1 to 2 distributors who did nothing at all for their businesses every month and fast starting them myself and just breaking even, to enrolling 4 people in the same weekend who all went out and got their own shopping sprees and carried on over the months ahead to enroll their own distributors. And I continued enrolling distributors. So it just kept growing. And, the month that I flipped that switch, 4 months later, I was a diamond, and 6 months later, I was a triple diamond. And my average number of distributors that I was enrolling a month went from 1 to 2 up to like 15 to 25 in a 6-month span. So I'll stop.
I had a very, very similar experience in the beginning of this, except for I literally was the only person that I knew who wanted to do something like this. Like, I had 4 girls that were in my wedding. I was like 6 months out from my wedding. And like in my head, like before I even hit submit, I was like, 4 customers, boom, there they are. Maybe they'll want to be distributors too. And like one by one, they all said no. And I remember just being like, well, there goes all my people that I had thought would be interested in this. And so I didn't enroll another distributor until the very end of my 2nd month, besides my husband, who I ended up signing up. But then it was 2 more months before I signed another one. And then it was like another month before I signed another one. So you guys, my first 6 months, I think I enrolled 4 distributors total, my first 6 months in the business. And then they had like kind of enrolled a couple, and that's how I ended up going Ruby. And then that's how I ended up going Emerald in 6 months. And then I went through a period of time where I was just crappy. Like, I was in a bad mindset. I wasn't sharing with my team how to be in a good mindset. I wasn't doing personal development. And I was doing exactly what Sarah thought. I was basically talking myself out of it. I was basically like, well, who'd want to join my team anyways? Like, what do I even know about doing this business? The only one who's really good at this business is Jade anyways. Like, just like talking down to myself and like going through the motions. Like, can you guys drop a 1 if you feel like you're going through the motions, but you're not getting the results that you want? Like, you're making the posts, you're getting up the host to post, you're doing your follow-ups, but like, it's just not moving forward in the way that you would like it to, And so that's what I was doing. I did it for like 3 months. I ended up dropping down from Emerald all the way to executive. It was literally my husband and this other girl who had joined me. They were the only 2 left on my team, and I had to do the exact same thing as Sarah. I had to just go into my mind and just be like, look, flip the switch. I am a good leader. I am a mass enroller of distributors. People would be crazy to not want this opportunity. I'm going to make a full-time income. And I thought I was crazy when I started saying these things too. It's not like I just like all of a sudden believed them. I just knew that I had to stop believing the same things that I had been believing all year, or I was going to keep getting the same results. And I didn't want to just keep being on social media talking about making a full-time income, but really making like $175. Like, I didn't want that. And so I flipped a switch. I stopped just going through the motions. I started really setting my intentions. And it's just like Sarah said, like, all of a sudden my posts were different. All of a sudden my conversations were different. My follow-ups were different, because I wasn't coming from a place of really not actually believing that I was somebody who could be a leader, to like, I'm gonna be a leader and I'm gonna go diamond and I'm gonna do what it takes. And you know what it takes to go diamond? Like a team of at least 20 distributors on your team. Like bare minimum, you're gonna need like at least 20 people. So I just knew that. And the diamond chart was even bigger back then. So I just knew that I needed to enroll the people. And so I just started bringing them in. But the difference is that the month that my mindset made the switch was not the month that I started mass enrolling distributors. My first quote unquote mass distributor enrolling month actually came 90 days later in January. So I made the mental switch in October. I started working again. I started posting again. Like, not that I wasn't posting, I was going through the motions. I was making my little 3-3 rule posts. I was talking to people, but my intention changed. So my life posts got better. My conversations got better. My follow-ups got more intentional and more like time sensitive. I was more like, look, you need to join my team right now. I'm about to do this thing. And then in January, I enrolled 10 distributors. And I will never forget just being like, oh my God, I have been playing so small, enrolling only 1 to 2 distributors a month this entire year of my business. And all of a sudden my business exploded. And you guys, at the end of March, I went diamond and I made a $10,000 bonus, and it like literally changed the rest of the course of my life. But it never would have happened had I not made the mental switch 6 months earlier to start intentionally planting these seeds, having these conversations, investing in these relationships with people. So, a big part of that was personal development. And I think we can all attest to, like, you can have a pretty crappy mindset and still enroll customers. Like, you don't have to have this. I mean, positivity is always going to be a good thing, but you can have a pretty self-limiting belief about this business and still go out there and enroll quite a few customers. I do not believe that you can be stuck in self-limitation and be a distributor enroller the way that you want to be. And I mean that, like Sarah said, like, we were enrolling a few, like we were enrolling a couple, but they never did anything. And that was because we were enrolling from where we were in our heads about being a leader and about the kinds of people that we deserved on our team. So I said something on a Zoom last night, which was, you enroll the people that you think you deserve. Have you guys heard that quote of, like, you accept the love you think you deserve? You enroll the distributors you think you deserve. So if you're enrolling a bunch of distributors that aren't doing anything, they're not answering your text messages, it starts up here. What do you actually think you deserve in your business? Like Sarah was saying, you get thrown this team page with hundreds of people and you're like, hundreds of people, I can't do hundreds of people. This is insane. I can't be like Hope. I can't be like Sarah. I can't be like Jade. And you just like stop your mindset right there when it's like, well, what if you just led one person and then that turned into 2 people and that turned into 3 people? Because that's actually how leadership happens. You don't just all of a sudden have a team of 300 people. Like, you grow into it. You sign one and then another, and then that person signs one, and now they're learning leadership, and it grows from there. So I would love to hear some of the things that you do to keep yourself in a good mindset, because even in the best mindset, you're still going to have people walk away. You're still going to have what we call kidnappers, which is people who sign up and then literally never do anything. They like join the witness protection program. You like never hear from them again. You're going to have people who join and you see so much potential in them, but they don't see it in themselves and they walk away. And all those things are brutal when you know what this business can do for you. You're like, are you crazy? Like, this business is amazing. So how do you just kind of like keep yourself going through those times, in terms of like what you're doing for personal development? I think you get what I'm asking.
Yeah. So the thing for me was, back when I first started, like, and for the first several years, we didn't have like personal development, like podcasts and stuff like that. Our personal development was Jade. Like, and it was so perfect because it was skills, but it was also mindset behind it at the same time. And she was talking about the things that she had overcome. So I watched Jade videos every day. So you guys, subscribe to Jade's YouTube channel. She's got like 400 videos on there or something. You could watch a video or 2 of hers per day and get like nuggets for your business, and also have like mindset aha moments constantly. So yeah, watching Jade's YouTube was really, really big for me. And then I never missed a Show Me the Money call. We used to have to literally call in, you guys. It was not a Facebook Live on Mark's page. You had to literally call in. And if you missed it, you had to call the recording line. Okay. So I would listen to it and I would be like at the gym on the treadmill, like with my earbuds in, or just like whatever. So I would literally call in, and just hearing other people's stories that are where I wanted to be in this business, and following other leaders, because what they would do on these trainings is they would say, I've had people quit. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not just me. I've gone through periods where people say no. Wait, people say no to other people than just me. I've had people not believe in me. Oh my gosh, you too? Like, that's crazy. So just hearing that I was not the only person who was going through the things that I was struggling with in my business made me feel like, okay, so maybe it doesn't mean something. Maybe it doesn't mean that I'm not cut out for this. Maybe it doesn't mean that I'm a bad leader because I had a few people quit because they quit on this girl and she's an ambassador diamond now. They quit on this girl and she's a diamond now. So that to me tells me that like, I'm just here doing my best and that it's going to be enough. And I just need to keep moving forward. So like, that was probably the biggest stuff for my mindset, was just staying plugged in to the people who were where I wanted to be, because hearing about the obstacles that they overcame just cast that vision for me and made me think like, guys, you're not the first person trying to climb Mount Everest here. Somebody else has already done it. Somebody else has already gotten to ambassador. We even have double ambassadors now. So like, somebody else has already done the things that you are trying to do, and they've overcome the obstacles that you are going to be facing. So don't try to avoid pain. Don't try to avoid the discomfort and the growth. Go through it and understand that it's not going to kill you. It's going to make you a better leader. It's going to make you a better enroller of distributors. It's going to make you more empathetic. It's going to give you more understanding of what other people are going through and more experience to speak from. And I don't remember where I was going with that, but like, just allow yourself to grow and stay plugged in, because then it keeps you like focused on where your destination is. It gives you that vision, that perspective of where you're going. Like, okay, I just need to keep chugging, just keep chugging.
Yeah.
Keep
It's just
swimming.
like motivation is like fleeting. And I would even say that no one can make you feel inspired, but staying inspired through plugging into Zooms, plugging into Show Me the Money call, plugging into other leaders that you can watch every single day. Sarah was one of those people for me, you guys. She joined a year and a half before I did. So by the time I jumped in, you were a triple diamond when I started. So you were one of those people that I was like, I'm just going to watch what Sarah does. And if she's a triple diamond, and if she's telling me that these things are happening, then I can do it too. Then it's not even that I was trying to go triple. I was like, then I can go diamond. Like if she can go triple, I can go diamond. So no matter where you're at in your business right now, Sarah just hit the nail on the head. Someone else has done it before you. And they probably did it with more kids and less time and more hate, like probably. So maybe not, but probably. So just have that faith that you're not doing this alone, and stay inspired and stay close to the fire, and keep yourself in that headspace of other people who have done this. I can do this too. Which again, just comes back to like those self-limiting beliefs, which is what my first podcast that just dropped this week is all about, is how to tear down those self-limiting beliefs and write new ones and step into a new version of yourself. So if you need some help with that, you can find my podcast on Spotify too. It's called Hope Finds Happiness. But I talk a lot about this because at the end of the day, that is what it is. It's like, you either believe that you're going to do it or you don't believe that you're going to do it. And that is like the make it or break it difference in who you're going to enroll and the way that you're going to enroll. So we kind of just covered, like, you're going to have some people that quit. You're going to have some people who do it for a little bit and then they leave. You're not alone in doing that. And I just said this to one of my emeralds on the phone this morning. I said, it makes you a better leader. So that someday when you have an emerald who's like, I've been trying for diamond so hard and it keeps slipping through my fingers and people keep quitting, you're going to be able to say to her, it's okay. I've been there. I made it through. We're going to get through this. Like, you're going to be successful. So no one was ever inspired by a story that had no speed bumps. And that's like my last piece of advice on this topic is just like, do you guys know what happens to a car if you just like go across the speed bump and you like don't slow down at all? Like, things fly everywhere. You can like break stuff in your car. Like, you might even have to pull over. Like, if you just try to like zoom, like go over at 50 miles an hour. So what if you knew the speed bumps were coming? You knew people were going to quit. You knew people were going to turn off their auto shipments. You knew there was going to be some people who didn't understand what you did and they were going to disagree with it. What if you just knew those things were going to come down the road? So you were able to just like slow it down to like 30 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, see it, glide over it, and keep going to your destination. You don't let it completely derail you from your goal. You don't let it stop you from getting to your destination. Know that those things are going to happen along the way, not because because those are the trials of this journey in this business. So that's just just knowing that they're going to come down the road. It's way better to go over that, slow down a little bit, go over them and keep going than let it derail your entire journey because you hit a speed bump and you were going too fast. And now you don't even know, what to do and your car's broken and you got to like fix it and do all this stuff. So, I would love to hear, like, there's so many different ways that you can enroll distributors, you guys, like, and it really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your sort of like specialty is, but I would love to know maybe just like one or two things that you're doing right now that is giving you good results with enrolling distributors.
So I just kind of always do the thing that has always worked for me, and I will sprinkle in, like, if somebody else is like, oh my gosh, I'm enrolling all of these distributors from this, or I'm enrolling all these customers from this, like, I will try to like work that into my routine as well. But honestly, what works, you guys, is getting in people's inboxes, being in people's DMs, having conversations with people and inviting them into this. That will never, ever change. Before we had social media, do you know what people were doing? They were calling up their friends and saying, hey, can you have some friends over so that we can, so that I can share this opportunity with them and I'll give you some free stuff for it. And guys, that was called a party. And now we do host a post. It is like a party and a post. So you could be having 10 parties per day, technically, just with a host a post. So it's essentially the same thing, but like, regardless, it was by talking to people. Like, nobody just joined and sat there and hung out and was like, okay, I signed up. Who got the bat signal that I am now a distributor and am open for business? Like, you have to be in people's inboxes. They're not seeing your posts. Like 1% of people actually on your Facebook friends list actually see the post that you're
I was just going to say, you guys, like, even my best Facebook, I have 5,000 friends. Like, I'm always maxing out on Facebook. Even my best Facebook post gets like 300 likes out of 5,000 people. And obviously there's people who are seeing it who are not liking it, but that's like 10% at best of the people that I have on my Facebook that are actually seeing my post and interacting with me. So the other thing that I love about host to post is, and I just said this yesterday, was like, you can post on your wall about Skinny Brew 10 times, but you're talking to the same people 10 times. But if you get up 10 host to post, you are talking to 10 different groups of people, even though it's the same post. You don't even have to get creative. You can literally put up the same post 10 times and get way better results. So how are you doing host to post for distributors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mainly do Facebook and Instagram, and I've always done it. I did not have an Instagram before I started this business, but I heard it was like a big thing. So I started an Instagram right when I got started, and I just kind of like figured that out as I was growing my Facebook too. And they just kind of like grew at the same time. So what I do on Instagram is host a stories, and my story is just a picture of like me with a cute like Pinterest, like, I don't know, like cute artsy cartoony background from Pinterest. And then the wording is just like work from home positions available, make money, 5 different ways, get paid weekly, daily, monthly, like, so that it's compliant. I'm not talking about specific income claims. I'm not talking about my story or anything like that. So it's just very simple. And then it just says like, follow this person, and they tag me there. And then it says, and then text opportunity to, and then it's got my number on it. So people are posting that on their stories for me because that just was getting more views that way. And then on Facebook, I do a business host to post, which is like basically the same kind of wording, but it's not even so much the wording. Like, that's just about getting it out there. My whole purpose behind asking somebody to host a post for me or host a story for me is because I want my foot in the door so that I can offer them the business itself. So every single person that does a host a post for me, does a host a story for me, as soon as they put it up, I say, thank you so much, you're entered. Side note, are you interested in doing this yourself? Because I just looked at your page and I think you'd be kind of amazing at this. Could I give you some info and see if this would be a good fit for you? And most of the time they say yes. And if they say no, or they have some objection, if they have an objection or a limiting belief, I'll overcome that. But if they just say no, that I'm just like, okay, that's fine. I move them to my other inbox, or I unfollow them, unfriend them, something like that. I just add their friends. But yeah, so I'm getting that out there. I don't even care if anybody comments on their posts. I don't care if I get potentials from these stories. It is just a foot in the door for me to offer the business. And then I'll come straight out and offer the business. Sometimes like I'll go through my whole Facebook friends list, or I'll go through, my Instagram followers messaging about doing a hosted post for me, or like they, sometimes they comment on my giveaway posts, but I also message for hosted posts. But if I come up to somebody, I'm like, okay, I've messaged this person about hosted post before. They didn't do it. So now I'm just going to offer them the business. I'm just going to come straight out and say it. And when you send somebody a message that makes them feel good receiving it, that is how you turn that into a real conversation with somebody and you actually get them intrigued. Like I've tried all kinds of messages, and I used to listen to videos, and I listened to this video from a girl who enrolled 30 distributors in 30 days. And she explained the message that she was sending. And it was this compliment. It was like, hey, I'm starting my dream team, and I just really would love to have you on it. I think you'd be amazing at this. So that's always been my go-to. And it's so simple. It's something that makes somebody feel good getting it. It makes it about them. And if you had somebody come to you and say, I think you would be good at this, what is the first thing that people are afraid of? What's the main thing that holds people back from doing this? They don't think they'll be good at this. So
no, they think that they're not the kind of person that you would even want on their team.
Right.
Yeah. I remember Claire Flores saying something along the same lines, like about Alyssa Billiou. Like she wouldn't comment or interact or message Alyssa because she didn't think that she was the kind of person that Alyssa would want on her team. Claire Flores is like an ambassador. Like she is an amazing person at this business. So the number one thing is that people just, they legitimately, like, they see what we do and maybe they are interested, but they don't think that they would be good at it. So if you hop in their inbox and you're like, from host to post or just messaging them or whatever, and you're like, hey, I think you'd kill it at this. All of a sudden they're like, me? What? Like I would kill it at this? So it's an excellent way to just open the door. Even if they're just saying yes to more info and they end up not being interested, at least you're just planting those seeds, and now they're going to be watching your posts even more closely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's really just about having the conversations with people. So that's where it starts. That's what plants the seeds. And you guys, I'm just going to tell you, I write down every single person that I talk to. So if somebody responds, yeah, sure, give me more info, I immediately write them down.
Yeah.
And the weeks and the months that I am signing the most people, this is what my planner looks like. Okay.
I love that.
This is what it looks like. It's so many names written down every single day. I made a mistake. I got a new planner and it does not have the kind of space that I need. So I'm going to have to take it back.
I hate that. I'm just like a list person. So, I do the exact same thing. I write down every single person who I talk, who like is even interested in just getting more information. And like there's names crossed out. Those people probably blocked me, or like they don't want to talk to me anymore, or they straight up said no. But I have paid, like people are always like, oh, I have like 4 potential distributors. I'm like 40 potential distributors. Like I talk to so many people about this business. And I feel like that's maybe part of the other thing that held me back in the beginning, was like, I was counting my chickens before they hatched. I was like, okay, so like Susie's signing up on Friday and like Kayla's signing up on Saturday, and then I'll be like charted for Emerald. And so I wouldn't go talk to more people. Well, then Susie blocked me and Kayla ignored me. And then I come to find out like her grandma died or something that weekend. So like now she's not going to join. And I didn't spend the rest of my week getting more new names in my planner, having more conversations. And it's not about seeing these people as boxes. It's just like, I'm going to keep searching until I find the people who are ready to do this right now. Like, let's go. Are you ready? Are you finally ready? Whether it's a follow-up, are you finally ready? Or I get them from a host to post and they're like ready to go on the spot. I'm going to keep going until I find those people. I'm not counting on a single person in this planner to order or join me. I'm not counting on it. I hope they will. I'm going to follow up with them a million billion times until they do, but I'm not counting on it. So I think that's the other piece of, like you just saw Sarah's planner. Like I think some of you get 5 names in your planner or 10 names in your planner, and you're like, all right, like I got a bunch of names today. And it's like, why wouldn't you keep going to get even more if you can get more? There are days where, like yesterday was the first day, I think, in literally like 5 months that I didn't get up a single host to post. It was just like a weird bad day. Casper had a fever all day. We had some family drama. I was about to sit down to message, and then like Casper woke up screaming again. Like it was just a hard day. So it didn't ended up happening. But today I got up like 25. So you just keep going forward. And I try really hard not to compare. Like I try not to wake up today thinking about what I could have done differently yesterday in my business, basically. So I love that. So you're in people's inboxes, you're messaging them if they make a host to post for you. I do the same thing. I only message for host to post for whatever. I used to message for customers. Sometimes I still message for distributors, but I mostly message for host to post. It's like Sarah said, it's like, it's free. They can get into a giveaway. Like most people will at least respond to it. And that's just, now you're having a conversation. Now there's a relationship being built there. And that's the important part of what we're in network marketing. We must network. We must have these relationships with people. So host to post is bomb. And it's not just about getting up the post. It's all of the conversations and all of the people that you meet along the way when you're asking for them. So another thing that I wanted you to talk about, because I have borrowed and gained inspiration from your life posts many, many times over the last 5 years. I would love for you to talk a little bit about like just showing up in your posts and how you construct your life posts, because I know there's a lot of people who struggle with that. And that's a huge part of it too. Once you're in the inbox and like you're having the conversation, now they're watching your posts, you want to give them something to look at, to see.
Yeah. So yeah, what? Yeah. Yeah. So I was actually going to talk about that. So I'm in people's inboxes, I'm writing them down, and I know that there are going to be like a majority of the people that I talk to are going to have some kind of limiting belief. They're going to have something that holds them back, and maybe they share it with me. And we have a conversation about it, and they overcome it. But a lot of the times, like they're going to say, I just don't think I have time for this. I don't have the money for this. I don't think I have the support. I'm from a small town. I'm too busy. My husband said this is a stupid idea. I'll never make money. My mom told me that her cousin's sister's friend's niece did this one time and she didn't make any money. So like all of these objections are kind of where I get the inspiration for my business posts. So, or my life posts. So, what I do is I have intention behind my posts. I am aiming to speak specifically to my potential distributors and their fears and their limiting beliefs and their objections. So like my life posts are always geared towards like, you know, I was talking to this sweet girl who's a college student and she's worried she doesn't have time. And like, it can be a literal potential or it can be a hypothetical one. So I might say that and like overcome the objection in my post and talk about how I make this fit into my busy schedule. Or, you know, I'll say, when I first got started in this business, I was worried that I wouldn't have time to be successful. And now all my potentials who are worried about that are like, what did she do? Like what? And they're like leaning in and they're reading the rest of my post. And I talk about how I overcame that and what it turned into and like what a blessing it was and how worth it was to do that. And a majority, so I want my planner to look like this so that I can be very intentionally like knowing, okay, I'm having conversations with people. I'm staying on top of these people. So if I talk to them today, I write them down so that tomorrow I can follow up with the people I talked to today. And stuff like that. And it just keeps them thinking about it. But what seals the deal for me is my posts. Like 100%, well, not 100%, but like probably 98% of the distributors that I sign are people who they ghost me at some point in the conversation. They ignore my follow-ups time after time after time. And then they come to me and they say, I'm ready. I just saw your post and I feel like it was speaking right to me. I'm like, girl, I know, because it was.
You're like, because last week you told me that you didn't have time and I wrote this post and saved it in my notes and then I posted it. Yeah, you have to think So many people are like, I don't have a story, right? That's like the biggest. They're like, I don't know how to write live posts because I don't have a story. Write to who you're talking to. Write to yourself before you hit submit to this business. What did you need to hear to make you finally say, okay, fine, that's it. I'm going to do this now. Like, that is what your people need to be hearing in your posts every day. It has nothing to do with the success. It really doesn't. Like, the big houses and the nice cars are like cool, but like people really want to know. They have objections. They are scared. They are skeptical. They are broke. They are busy. All of their friends think that it's dumb. And they need you to overcome these things, both in your conversations, in your posts, and in your confidence and belief in this business. My biggest, so I do all the same things as Sarah. I message, I host a post, I'm writing life posts every single day. I show up in my stories. Like, I do all the things. But my biggest piece of advice that I would give anybody who feels like I said in the beginning, that you're doing all the things, but you're not getting the results that you want, it's the confidence. When I made that mental switch in my brain, I was like, I'm going to go diamond. I'm going to be making a full-time income, and I'm going to start acting like it right now. And I've said this on other Zooms, but like, you can put the It Works symbol on my headstone when I die. Like, I am here for life. I believe this is the best opportunity on the planet. I love our corporate team. I love our product line. I love what we stand for. I love what I get to do every single day. That's how I show up. And that's why people join my team, because they know that that same love and passion and excitement and enthusiasm, I'm going to be able to give to them. And so now we're going to transition. We have like 15, 20 minutes left. I would love to transition a little bit into like, okay, so you get them in the inbox, you're making your posts, you're following up, they finally join you, right? How do we keep them around? How do we continue to inspire them, support them, overcome their objection? Just because you hit submit doesn't mean all of your objections go away, you guys. And that's a fact. Like, even for those of us who've been in for years, there are still sometimes where I'm like, oh my God, like, what am I even doing? Do I even know how to do this even 5 years later? So I would love to hear some of the things that you do as a leader that help you maintain this momentum forward. Like, just one or two things around leadership that you feel are really important for maintaining a team and helping them move forward as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things, but like, number one, I never stop recruiting. I never stop building my business, because I know statistically there are going to be people who just quit, no matter how much I support them, no matter how much I love on them, no matter how much I get them plugged in, no matter how much coaching I give them, no matter how many objections I overcome with them, they are going to quit, just statistically. I just had this conversation with a girl on my team, a diamond on my team today, who was talking about it. I said, let's just say I enroll 10 distributors a month. Okay. I can assume that like at least 2 of those are going to cancel or just stop talking to me in the first 24 hours. Like, that is just a fact, like, for the most part. So, and I'm not saying this to scare you guys. I'm just saying, like, people are human. They do stuff and they just, like, they panic. They do it and they're like, Mom, I signed up. And their mom's like, what are you doing? Get out of there. And they panic and they listen to it, or they have these doubts in their own mind. So that just happens. And I just learned to stop letting that bother me. So anyway, so yeah, out of 10, that's 2 of them. And then a couple of them are gonna like try for a little bit, but they're gonna do the bare minimum. They're not gonna get plugged into anything. They're gonna take days to get back to you. And then like the other 5 to 6 are where you really have some room to have influence over these people. And those are the people who I tell them what they need to be doing, what their goals are. So I give them direction for what they want to be working towards. I teach them what they want to be doing daily for their business. And then my mindset is like, I want to be talking to them every single day, because I know they're going to go through limiting beliefs. They're going to go through periods where they feel like they are the only person struggling through this. Like, they think, you guys we forget what it was like to be new. We forget what it was like to get that first no and to start telling yourself, maybe my husband was right and this isn't for me and I'm not going to be successful. And they start like spiraling in their minds. If you're not talking to them every day, they're going to talk themselves right out the door of this business. And you aren't even going to know that it was happening because you didn't talk to them. So you want to make sure that you're connecting with them every single day. And it's not how's messaging going, and it's not micromanaging how many host to post did you get up per day today. Did you get your 6 lists done? It's reaching out to them for a purpose. Like I'm reaching out to them. If they're not sending me screenshots, I'm going to them and I'm saying, hey, okay, so we haven't talked today. I haven't seen any screenshots. Are you like not having conversations at all? Or like, are you confused on what needs to be going on here? Because you have to be having conversations with people or this just isn't going to work. So like I'm reaching out with a purpose and I'm cutting to the chase. Like I'm telling them the things that they need to hear, but I'm doing it from a place of I'm here for you and I'm here to help you be successful. It's not like cracking the whip, like you need to work harder so that I can make more money. You need to work so that I can get you to 400 so that I can go diamond. It's not like that at all. It is about truly me saying, these are the things that you need to do to be successful. And if you're not going to be successful, then, or if you're not going to do these things, you're just not going to be successful. And then like having that realistic view of things, because there are going to be some people who just don't just are not willing to do what it takes to be successful. And that I have nothing against them on that. They don't owe me anything. When they get started in this business and I put them on my chart, they don't owe me anything. They don't have to get themselves to 400 if that's just like not in the cards for them. So I am going to look at my team. I'm going to love them where they're at. I'm going to coach them on what they need coaching on. If I see them posting terrible posts, I'm going to go to them and I'm going to say, girl, I love that you're posting, but let's talk about the way that you're posting so that you can get better results from this. Okay. Does that sound like a plan? And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah. Like, what am I doing wrong? I found this on Google. Is that not good? Like,
yeah. And it's like, they don't even know, like, think back to when y'all were new. Like, we don't even know whether we're doing good or whether we're doing bad. And so most people will just assume that they're doing bad, even if they are doing good. And even if they are doing things, that doesn't necessarily mean they're doing things right. And the number one thing that I have most new people like tell me is like, I just didn't want to bother you. Like, I just didn't want to bother you. Like, I just didn't want to bug you. And it's like, they need to understand that they are not bothering you, that you want to help them, that you want them to get good results, that you are here for them. So my very, very first thing that I do when a brand new distributor signs up now is I send them a voice message. And I straight up, I'm just like, dude, you just joined the best opportunity. I'm so honored that you joined with me. I'm going to do this the way that you're going to do this. So whatever you give, I'm going to give right back. So if you want to like go and run and make a lot of money, then like, let's do this. But if you don't, that's okay too. I can roll with that. You just need to let me know where you want to go. And I would just also like to know, like, what do you want out of this and how much time are you planning on spending on it? And that kind of just right there from the get-go, their response is going to give me like my sort of expectation of how much I'm going to send them every day. I'm not just messaging my new people once a day, you guys. Like, I'm like messaging with my new people all day long. As long as they're messaging me back, I'm giving them more. And they know that from the get-go. So it's like, we get scared to overwhelm them. They get scared to bother us. And that's like, you can have a total communication breakdown. And that's when you lose people, because they don't feel like they can come talk to you because they don't really know you. You feel like you're not trying to overwhelm them. So you're not checking on them the way that you should be. Like Sarah said, with that like intention, like, don't just be like, hey, how's it going? Like, they don't know what that means. Be like, hey, I haven't seen any screenshots yet today. Did you get up any host to post? Are you having any conversations? Did you get some posts up in your story? Like, not being like, how many messages did you send? But being like, are you having trouble sending messages? Do you know what to send out? Like, can I send you a video? Can I tag you in something to read? Like, some people are visual learners. Some people are auditory learners. You have to just learn these things about your people. They're people. They're not just a 400 box on the bottom of your chart. Like, they're a living, breathing human being that could be the next diamond on your chart if you just give them the time and the patience and the support that they need. That being said, sometimes you can text people 27 times and they're still going to quit. And it doesn't matter how much you've given them, but I need to know, for me, at the end of the day, that I did give them everything that I had, the support, the training, the leadership, the guidance, the cheerleader, the shoulder to cry on, whatever it is that they need from me. I need to know that I gave them that at the end of the day, so that whether or not they quit, I can know. And I've had times where I haven't. And I think that that's like, you're sitting here and you're listening to me, and I'm a triple and Sarah's a prez, and we get to make this money and we get to enroll these distributors, but it doesn't mean that our leadership has always looked like this. It's like such a process and such a journey to like come into your own leadership, but you can't learn how to do it by not doing it. Like, you have to enroll people, you have to have these conversations, you have to connect with people and have disconnect with people, like great communication and like broken communication, so that you can learn the way that your personality type works best in leadership. But I just love, like, the thing that I got the most out of this whole thing, Sarah, was just the intention behind your posts, the intention behind your messages, the intention behind your training with people. Don't do anything just to do it. Do it for a reason and with like a clear intention of why you're doing it. So we do have a few minutes left. I would love for you to just speak to, and then I can do the same thing if you want to, speak to somebody who's like, they're pushing for diamond. Maybe they're a ruby, maybe they're an emerald. They've got a handful-ish of girls on their team that are working. They want to take it to the next level, but they do. They're doubting their leadership. They're doubting their ability to actually enroll and handle this many distributors. But they're willing. They just like aren't quite sure what to do next. So if this was somebody on your team, what advice would you give them?
Yeah. So I love like reflecting back on what my business looked like the month that I went diamond, because you guys, it was not like a pretty perfect situation where everybody was just like enrolling like crazy. And we're like, look at all this volume. This is crazy. Everybody's working. This is so easy. Like, no, it was hard. It was worth it, but it was hard. And it took like the whole month long. It was like every day I was like, I'm going diamond this month. And then later that day I was like, how am I ever I can't go diamond this month. I need so much volume, and this person just quit, and this person hasn't messaged me back in 3 days. So like, promoting in this business is emotional, but like, it's good and it's fun and it's exciting and it's like chaotic, but it's good. But anyway, so it was not necessarily just this pretty perfect thing. I had my husband was my emerald leg, and then I had another girl who was my ruby, and then I had my 400 box. And out of like everybody on my team, I maybe had, so how many distributors, I don't even remember how many distributors were on an old diamond chart, but I probably had like 4 people who were actually consistently enrolling customers, and a couple, like not even those 4 were consistently enrolling distributors. I was really the one who was enrolling the most distributors. And out of those 4, they might've enrolled like 1 or 2 or something like that. So I filled the majority of my diamond chart, but I just like looked at these people and I just put a goal out there in front of them. So like, I needed 3 of these girls to go ruby. And I just went to them all and I said, okay, dude, let's do this. You're going ruby this month. Are you ready for this? I'm so excited for you. And I just kind of like rallied them towards a goal, and just giving them a goal and believing that they wanted it and believing that they were going to do their very best to make it happen, and not stressing about like, well, they're not doing enough. Like, I didn't get entitled. I didn't get well, I did for a minute. And then Jade sent me like a John Maxwell law of influence video. So if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling entitled and you're feeling like, well, my team is not working, so I will go diamond when my team, because I'm not getting that girl to ruby if she's not going to do what she needs to do. If you're feeling like that kind of way, that's called an angry leader stage. It is a very normal stage to go through before going diamond. Go watch John Maxwell, the law of influence. So Jade sent that to me, and she said, don't talk to me until you watch this. And so I watched it and I was like, okay, I get it. So, and it's basically just that your promotion is your responsibility. Okay. But there are people on your team who want to hit their own promotions too. They want to get their own wins too. So give them something to fight for, give them something to work towards. But then you look at your promotion, you go, okay, they're working towards it. They're going to do their very best. This person's going to do her very best. This person's going to do her very best. But like, I need to, if I want to go diamond, I need to get this job done. And then you work like it's up to you, but you coach your team like you need them to hit their promotions in order for it to happen. And whatever they contribute along the way, that's good. That's awesome. Yeah. So, so that was really like my journey to diamond. Was I enrolled the most of a majority of the customers. I was pulling the late nights. I was the one sitting on the step outside my shower messaging with the water running because I was like, I gotta sign this person up before I get in the shower. So that was me. And the girls on my team who were promoting to Ruby, they enrolled like their husband and a couple of customers. And like,
but like, it was good. It's like,
yeah.
you assume the best, but then you like expect the worst. Like you assume that they're going to work hard and like do the things that they need to do. But then like, you're going to expect that maybe they won't, and that you're going to have to do it all yourself. So then when those orders do come in, when that volume does come in, when those other distributors do come in, you're like, yes, this is amazing. But you're working your work ethic like you're going to have to do it all by yourself. And that stops you from getting in that place of that like angry leader. Well, I'll just go when my team's ready to stop messing around because they don't know what they're doing. And like, I'm so mad. And it's like, I guarantee you will not talk to a single diamond that will be like, oh yeah, my whole team was ready and we were all working and every 400 bucks was like perfect. And like, that's not how promotions happen. Like, it's just not. So just be prepared to do the work that it takes. The book, It Takes What It Takes. It's an amazing book, you guys. You have to listen to it. It's talking a lot about this. Like, it's going to take what it's going to take to get you there. So do you have any tips for leading? Like for like, let's say you're trying to go diamond and you have 3 girls and they need to go ruby. You just go to them and you just say like, hey, like, I need, like, you're going to go ruby this month. I'm so excited for you. Here's what we need to do every day.
Yeah.
And then you just check in with them, or?
Yeah. So I just give them like what their goal is. And if they have distributors under them, then I show them their chart and I say, this is how many distributors you need. This is how many customers you need. Let's get going on this. And then I just kind of gauge. I'm like, so do you have like distributors who are going to be signing up? Do you have customers that are going to be signing up? And usually that's when we get into that conversation where they're going to open up and they're going to be like, well, I had some potentials, but they stopped responding, or like I had some people who responded, but like, I don't think they're actually interested or whatever. So then I'm able to actually start giving them coaching, and I'll send them like a video message on how I get distributors, what their post should look like, their messages and stuff like that. Or I'll just send them a YouTube training. I'm like, you need to watch this today on getting distributors, because I think that's the most important thing, is teaching your team how to be good at bringing in distributors. Because the more distributors that you have on your team, the more volume that you have coming in, the more people that you have earning fast start bonuses, which is fun money for them. Like, that's just a good thing.
And it's just, if you are out of your first 30 days, you need to be enrolling your distributors, like, period. Like, so many people get caught up in like the volume and like, well, but then my customers are going to like cancel after their 3 months and then I'm going to have to get more. And it's like, but you can go out and enroll 30 customers a month, and that's going to take you so much effort and so much consistency and so many messages. Or you could just like enroll 3 distributors and help them all enroll 10 customers. Like, and that's going to take you way less time. It's going to give them more money. Your paycheck is still going to go up, and you're going to get fast start bonuses, and you're probably going to hit Ruby, which means that you're just going to go even higher up. Like, there is no downside to enrolling distributors, except for like what you're telling yourself up here about your worthiness of enrolling distributors and growing your team. Your volume does not skyrocket from mass enrolling customers. Period. Does that mean that I didn't enroll 38 customers the month that I went triple diamond? I did. I enrolled 38 customers to go triple diamond because we were going triple diamond, and that's what needed to happen, and that's how much volume I needed, and I showed up for it. But I didn't go triple diamond enrolling customers. I went triple diamond because I had been mass enrolling distributors for years at that point, and teaching my team to do the same thing. So, I mean, I would pretty much say the exact same thing to somebody who's like ruby or emerald. They want diamond more than they want to breathe, and like they just feel like their team isn't quite there. maybe they're having a really hard time enrolling distributors. It's only the 14th. So for the next week-ish, focus on distributors. Put your intention behind distributors. Stack your chart. If your diamond chart is full, fill your double chart. If your double chart is full, get that triple diamond chart out, baby. Like, keep building, keep enrolling, keep stacking in these boxes. Pour into your distributors, pour into your team, but don't think, okay, I only need 2,000 for diamond, so all I'm doing is customers this month. No. The reason that I see people get farther away from their goals and not closer to their goals is when they're not enrolling distributors, period. If you have had months where you've been closer to ruby or emerald or diamond or double than you are right now, it's because you're not bringing in new distributors consistently. It is so important. How much would an extra $150 a week change your life right now? That's one fast start bonus a week. That's not even really mass enrolling distributors. That's enrolling one distributor a week and helping them get their shopping spree. And that's way more money than most of you are making on your monthly paycheck right now. It's life-changing money. So that's what I would say. You can get your big girl panties on and your distributor enrolling hat on. And at least for the next week until the 21st or the 22nd, focus on getting those distributors in. Focus, intention, your posts, your messages, your follow-ups, your mindset, what you're saying to yourself. And then the last 9 days of the month, you can go out and enroll as many customers as you want, and you'll be earning fast start bonuses, and you'll be getting close to your promotions, and you'll be helping your team do the same thing. But for me, really being able to divide up the month like that, where it's like literally the first 3 weeks of the month, I'm all about the distributors. And then the last week, I kind of transitioned to customers, is what has allowed me to continue to maintain triple, move towards presidential, all of these things. So it is time for Destination Diamond Zoom on Jade's Zoom code. Thank you so much for being on with us, Sarah. I appreciate you and your leadership and your guidance and all of the things over the years. Seriously, you've always been that for me. So thank you. And let's hop over and listen to some amazing stories. I love you guys. We'll see you guys next. Bye.